Claudia had Phoebe and Chad leave the room while she was having a conversation with Gwen. Chad pulled Phoebe by the ear as they got outside the house. Phoebe tried to get his hand off, but Chad was stronger than she is. "Let me go, Chad." "Or what? You are going to tell more I am interested in you?" Chad asked, earning a weird look from Phoebe. "Are you?" Phoebe asked. Chad looked at her before flicking her forehead with his finger. "Get those crazy thoughts out of your head. Out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh." Chad was about to hit her again when she raised her hand in surrender. "I am sorry," she apologized before looking at the house. "Do you think Mom is angry with Gwen? I didn't mean to hurt her." "You should have thought about that before opening your loud mouth." Chad grabbed her lips, but she pushed his hand away. "I was just joking. I didn't even know she was interested in you. It was a prank." She moves closer to him and whispered into his ears, "How do you feel about her, too?" Chad was about to lose his temper and hit her with anything he could find, but Phoebe ran before he could raise his hand at her. "Gwen loves Chad," she sang as she turned and twirled while dancing to the tune of the new song she had just created. "Chad loves Gwen." The song continued. Chad couldn't hide his smile as he stared at her. "What if you are wrong about me loving Gwen?" he thought while he watched her. "I won't be the reason you lose some of your teeth." "I'm more careful than your heart, dude," Phoebe replied loud enough for him to hear. Stunned by her reply, he chased after her. Phoebe was laughing and giggling while Chad chased after her. She had a flexible body which made her run pretty fast, but soon she got tired, and Chad caught up to her, pulling her by her ear again. "Not the ear," Phoebe pleaded, but Chad ignored her. They got to the front of the house when the door opened, revealing Gwen with a sad face. Chad let go of Phoebe's ear as he walked up to meet her. "Are you okay?" he asked. Gwen didn't reply to him. All she did was glare at Phoebe before walking away. Chad and Phoebe turned back as they watched Gwen leave. Phoebe turned to look at Chad and poke him on his chest. "I think she's angry at me." Chad scoffed. "You think?" Phoebe bowed her head in silence. She was just trying to have fun, and she had no idea Gwen loves Chad. It was just a charade. "I didn't mean for this to happen." Chad pulled her close and hugged her. "I know, but you have to explain that to her. She's pretty mad at you right now. That she ignored the one she loves," she said, referring to the time Chad asked Gwen if she was okay, and he ignored her. Chad pushed Phoebe away a little, and the girls couldn't hide her smile. "I am so sorry. Eli will just go talk to her." Before Chad could scold her, she ran to meet Gwen. The prince entered the palace but was surprised to see that his father was not sitting on his throne. The maidens saw that he was looking for his father, so one of them walked up to him and said, "His Majesty has retired to his room, but Her Majesty would like to see you." "Thanks, Chloe," the prince said as he sent a smile to the maiden before leaving to meet his mother in her chamber. Chloe and the other maidens giggled just because the prince smiled at Chloe. "I think the prince is attracted to me," Chloe said as some of the maidens laughed. "Just because he flashed you a smile, you think he likes you?" one of the maidens asked. "Just say you are jealous, Alora." Chloe fired back. "Jealous? I will choose Lucas over the prince, any time. Are you girls okay? Don't you know that both the prince and Lucas are interested in themselves?" another maiden whispered. "What do you mean, Eve?" Chloe asked, glaring at Eve. Eve gestured for them to come closer as she shared what she has seen with them. "Have you ever seen the prince or Lucas with any maiden?" Eve asked. They began to ponder on it, and when they thought about it, they believed she was right. One of the maidens who heard the conversation and was displeased with the conclusions concerning the prince and Lucas walked up to them and said, "The prince and Lucas are best of friends. Who in his riot mind would think of a lady when the kingdom is at stake?" All the maidens glared at her, eyeing her from head to toes. Learn to mind your business, Zinnia. This is my business, Chloe. If words get out that the prince and Lucas are in a romantic relationship, do you know that can tarnish the prince and his reputation? We already have a lot going on. You all shouldn't add salt to injury. Without waiting for them to cuss at her, which she believed they would, she walked away from them. The prince knocked at the door, and his mother's tender face gestured for him to come in. Shutting the door after him, he walked closer to meet his mother, who was tending to the boils on his father's body. Father requested to see me. Your father is asleep, but he wrote some things down for you. Queen Elise handed her the paper where King Gardiel wrote his orders, since he couldn't speak. Prince Edward collected the paper and read what was written. After he was done, he handed the paper over to her and said, I ain't going to do what father is asking of me. His mother looked at him, and she knew he couldn't change his mind even if she tried. Son, the kingdom is at stake, and I am supposed to do what exactly? Sit back and watch while the solution to the problem is out there. He shook his head. I'm taking the bull by the horn, mother, and please do not stop me. I have no intentions of stopping you, son, but how would you find her? Lucas will help me on this journey, mother. Please permit that I do this. Your father would be angry if he finds out you are not here. Just tell him I traveled or something. When do you decide to embark on this journey? In the next 3 days. I need to make sure that there's enough food to last the kingdom for a year. I will be very busy, but I have to put the lives of the people as the priority. Do whatever you think is best for the people. I pray the guardians will help you on this. Prince Edward hugged his mother before staring down at his father, who was sleeping soundly. He couldn't even stare at him for so long before he took his leave to attend to the matters at her. Gather all the guards. We will be going to the Euphrates to get food for the pedipal, he ordered.